Hello and welcome to episode 19 on the FyberCraft server. Yeah, so this one is a big one. That is for multiple reasons, and one of them, of course, is we are going to build the Guardian Farm. Now, the other reason is it's actually summertime here, and that means the server is actually going to be shut down for quite some time while us members are taking a little bit of time off from the server and life in general, which means I'm not sure exactly, but either this week or next week will be the last episode. Might be able to update you even more later on in the episode, but for now I do want to, before we start the farm, I want to extend the deep slate tiles perimeter all the way down to the bottom here, so that we have a nice looking ring at least. Get this place gradually clean it up and make it feel nice, and then we'll gather materials and build up this farm. That looks so much cleaner, even though the ground hasn't been decorated yet. Now that the walls have, it made a huge difference. And so yeah, I suppose I should tell you what the design we're going to build is going to be, and that is Iscal85's Guardian Farm design. And I've seen it used by quite a few people, and it looks pretty good. Now I'm actually going to be using a tool that I, as a builder, like to use, and that is, of course, Litematica. And so if I press M, I get into this menu, and I can go into my schematic, and right here is the one for the Guardian Farm. So if I load that, it is now loaded, and if I go to the material list, I can now see everything I need. And of course I can ignore all the things that I don't need, such as sand. Don't need stone. So I'm just going to go through all this stuff and get my final list. It's really not a big list. And let's see, if I turn this on, you can see, I guess I have my placement. Yeah, I want to actually turn that off. So now I just have my material list, and you can see there's the box there. I'm actually going to place that in the right position. Now you might be wondering why I put a stick in my shiny goodies box, and that is because this is actually the tool of choice to use this thing. So if I just move this way, right, I now have the blue box completely surrounding the farm. So I actually just enabled the farm rendering again, and this is what it will roughly look like. And let's actually lock this. So now it won't move. Perfect. So now it's time to begin our work to complete this list. And once we get it, the item over here will just get removed, and our list will get smaller and smaller. Okay, what are in these two shulker boxes are all of the materials we need. It's really not that much. Oh, and I did forget. Yeah, this is also one of them. So we got our deep slate and our glass, our building blocks, and this is all of the technical stuff. And that's it. That's all we need for this farm. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go in to my placement, and I'm going to turn it on. And as you can see, a giant thing just appeared, and you can see every block is a different color. So I'm going to actually explain a little bit how this program works in more depth. So I have this farm built on another world, and I basically outlined it with a little box and press save, and it saves every block, every position, and every state that those blocks are in. And so now you can bring it over to this world, and you'll notice that this, I can walk right through it. So this is not actually the build itself, and that is what our job is today. We are going to place the blocks in order to build this, and this just gives us a rough outline. So let me explain a little bit what the colors mean, because you see all these colors all around us. So let's start up with the red. The red means there is the wrong block here. And yeah, if I bring that down, you can see it's meant to be sand. I'm not going to worry about this because I have bigger plans for this. And the one sand block is not colored, and that means it's in the right place. So as you can see, the entire monument layout is completely normal because that is exactly how it was before. The pink means that there's meant to be air. So if I break this torch, it just goes away. But if I place it back, there's meant to be an air block there, not a torch. And finally, the blue, as you see all over this build, and even this torch right here, that means that this is where you're supposed to place blocks. And as you can see, it's completely blue in here, and that's because this is all filled with water. And so you can't really see it from the outside, but yeah, this is all going to be filled with water, except for this part, actually, because this is the drop chute. Well, they'll drop down to where we either kill them or they die. I haven't really decided yet. But anyway, I'm going to walk through the building process of this farm as we go along. So first off, obviously, we're going to need quite a few deep slate tiles. And we're also going to need our soul sand. And so what we're actually going to do is come into the middle here and break out the floor. And as you can see, every time I break a block, it shows, oh, there's supposed to be soul sand there. I'm just going to break this all out and place in the soul sand. Okay, that should be the floor all done. And so let's see what we got next. So yeah, next we got this deep slate tiles. And you can see what's nice is currently I'm holding the soul sand. I can middle click on this and it pick blocks it for me. Okay, so let's place down the bottom here. And yeah, now you can see it's like completely different than the schematic. So we're just going to place this bottom ring all the way around here and build up these chambers. And now as you can see, I have the two big chambers in, and I haven't put in the roof just yet, and you'll see why in a minute. These two chambers are actually where the guardians will spawn, and the reason we have soul sand is to make this all one giant bubble column. And then we will push them over and gradually file them into one line and drop them down. And that is the basic premise of this farm. I think what I'm going to do now is actually build this center column from the ground up, and then I'll build the two extra bits on the sides. And with that done, that is the whole shell of this farm. And I know it looks kind of rough right now. First of all, there's no water in there. Second of all, I haven't decorated it at all, and I have a really cool design that took me quite a long time to figure out that we're going to build on here. Hopefully I get to it this week, because I don't know what I'm going to get to it after then. But there's a huge... That's why I haven't even done the floor yet, is because this is all going to change dramatically. But anyway, let's get into the details and really show exactly how it's going to work and put in some of the technical bits. So first off, the few things we need are spruce fence gates, a few buckets. So I'm just going to actually fill up my inventory with all this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly up to the top here. And then once we land, we're going to fill in this layer here with cobbled deep slate. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, so this part is going to get dangerous very quickly. And I think what I'm actually going to do first... Oh, it looks like I forgot some glass down here. How did I manage that? I will be right back. Yeah, okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to design this little bit. So these fence gates are actually meant to make it so that the guardians can go through without the water following them. Do this one at a time, so you have to have open fence gates like this so that the guardians can travel through them, but it also stops the water. So yeah, what we're actually going to do, get a couple buckets of water, place one, place the other, and that's one bit done. Okay, let's get up here. We're going to do the same thing right here. And then this time, we've got to do it on both sides. So we're going to jump over here, go 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. That should be all of the main mechanism complete in here. the last bit we need to do are these big tanks, and this is something I am very scared of. So let's fill in this side as well. Now that I've got both of these with the cobble deep slate on top, I'm going to explain what I'm actually doing here. I'm going to take these 2 buckets of water here, and my goal is to get it so that we have water pushing the guardians up once they float out to the top. And then they'll fall down in here and get siphoned in through there. But the only problem with that is in order to have the most efficient rates, down... let's see if I can get a good angle on this. Down in the tank down there, that all needs to be bubble columns. So we need to push them up. They need to stick a little bit in the top block of water, which is going to be pushing them this way. And in order to do that, we have to make it so that the last block of water is right here. And I believe if we did this right, that should be the case. Look at that. Yeah, so now that's right over there. So that when they reach this point, because this is just a glass pane, they'll fall down and end up in that system. So now what we've got to do is just fill in this entire area like that. Okay. And so now this entire line is like this. Oh boy. Okay. Let's actually do this on the other side as well. And then we'll get to the next step. Okay, now I'm kind of scared because what comes next is breaking out this this cobble deep slate and making everything below it a water source, which is why I had all that kelp. So before I actually do that, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna grab my kelp. Hopefully I have a good enough amount for this. It's probably not gonna be enough straight off the bat, but it doesn't need to stay, it just needs to make everything a water source. Okay, I think I'm ready. So what we're gonna do is I hope that when I break out this cobble deep slate, it will just flood the area below, and I won't have any issues. So let's do it. Seems to be working, I think. Oh yeah, did I mention that once I do this, this will allow guardians to start spawning, which is gonna be real fun for me, because this is the only place that they can spawn. And you know what? What might actually be smart is breaking the cobble deep slate on both sides, so that they have more places to spawn. But yeah, this seems to be working just fine. And I'm just gonna continue mining everything out. Seems to me that there aren't actually many guardians here, so I might actually be good. And now, air isn't something I'm very worried about because, remember, bubble columns give you air, and I'll have infinite bubble columns when I'm done. So I think I'm just gonna get to it and start placing this kelp. And I'll get back to you when I'm done, and that will basically be a completed guardian farm. Okay, the water is all in, and look at that! That is our first guardian, and I'm amazed it actually managed to get in there because there is no roof, so everything just flies out. That is actually what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take these slabs, and I'm going to put them on the top, and then we'll have a completed guardian farm, which is really cool, although we do need the killing chamber down at the bottom, probably below ground. So I'm gonna fly up here, and I'm gonna put on the roofs. Okay, just a few more slabs to go, and then we will be all done. Whoa. Whoa. What the heck just happened? That was really odd. I don't know if the camera picked that up, or if that was just an in-game visual glitch, but... what the heck just happened? Oh, hello Shadow, haven't seen you in a while. Getting some serious lag here. Could it be... oh. You know, that might be it. Might want to do something about that. That might cause a problem. But anyway, that right there is one finished guardian farm. I do think I should probably do something about this, though. These guardians are becoming a big problem with lag, and in order to deal with that, I need to build the chamber where we kill them and process their stuff. So that means I need to build a storage system using these blocks and a lot of redstone. I'm just gonna get to building. We'll see how far we get. Okay, and after a ton of building, look at this. We have a nice hallway leading down. But yeah, then we come in here and we get to see where the guardians fall down in this tube. Over here we have the down and we drop down. Notice no fall damage, and that is done using the power of powdered snow, which eliminates all fall damage. And this is just a little bit of a temporary setup while I gather some of the stuff I'm going to use in the storage system. If we turn around, look at this. We have tons and tons of chests. But yeah, so over here is where we're going to keep our prismarine shards. We're going to keep all of our cod in here, a little bit of a smaller section. And over here is our prismarine crystal area. And we have loads of storage so that we can really get tons of this stuff. And then, yeah, over here, so we're way back up. Just a normal elevator. And yeah, we're back up here. So going back down, I want to get started on some of the mechanisms. So I'm going to grab a few materials. We'll get some hoppers to start with. So we're going to start by placing 4 hoppers like this. And that will be what collects all the materials. So this lever is going to go on this block right here. Get in there and place that. Perfect. Get out our droppers and place them all like so. We're going to power a piston, or that is pushing this right here. There we go. Now, when I break this block, it's going to push this face to face, and it's going to create a clock. And so now if you push the lever, you can see now it's flashing. It's giving a repeated pulse. So I'm going to turn this off while we work. But yeah, we're going to take this signal and bring it back around here. So that's those two. Now we need to bring it around to the other side as well. Okay, that should do it. So now when I power this lever, let's put something in this dropper. Yeah, it gets dispensed. And if I get an angle where I can reach this other one and put something in it, yeah, everything's working. Perfect. Okay, we're going to close that out temporarily because we have to work with these chests. This is going to be a tedious process. Okay, so now that that's all done, what we're going to do, we're actually going to put hoppers on every single one of these chests here. And we're going to start by placing 3 blocks off here, 1 there, boom, boom, like that. And then what we're going to actually do is just extend this bottom one all the way across. Because this is what I found to be the easiest way of building this. Breaking the center because there's not a module there. And this is where the repeaters are actually going to go. Okay, so then we're going to extend this block across. And this is where the redstone torches go. So you can see every single one of these should be like this. Okay, so yeah, now we're just going to extend the rest of these blocks all the way across. Okay, and now that we're done doing that, jump over here and place in our comparators. And then, of course, our redstone dust. Okay, and that right there is one side done. Almost. Well, the water line is going to come right over the top of these hoppers here. The items are going to come in, but this isn't a sort, and currently it's not even going to let items into the chest. And what we need to do is actually put filters in these hoppers. I'm going to do that after I'm done with all of the other modules. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the rest of the modules, and I'll catch up with you when I'm done. And now they're all in place. The next thing we're going to do is add the filters. So yeah, we're going to come over here, and what we're going to do is get loads of diorite. I think that'll be perfect for what we need. And the other thing we're going to get is everything we're going to sort. We're going to split these into stacks of 41. Now, let me explain how this thing works. What we're going to do, this is where our prismarine shards are going to go. So we're going to put 4 of those in there, and shift-click one of those in there. And now you can see that powered it, but not all the way. So if you go under here, you can see the torch is still not powered, meaning that when you add one more, it does go through. And that's because the comparator actually tells you how many items are inside the hopper. And with this amount of items, when you add one more, it pushes it just so it powers a little bit more, enough to get the signal through here and unlock the hopper to let the item go through, but only for that item, and then it goes back down to this amount of items, and it then does not have enough strength. And that's the logic we're going to use for every single one of these filters. So I'm going to start the tedious process of filling all of them in, and bang. Now that's going to burn everything that makes it through this whole system. So if the chests are all filled, it'll just delete all the items. So we just have one more step, and that is the water line. And this part can get messy because water and redstone don't mix that well. So I'm gonna get the water lines in, and I'll get back to you when this is a fully functioning system. Without further ado, welcome to the Guardian Farm. As we make our way down the stairs, you can take in the beautiful end rod light and watch as the hopefully existent guardians file their way down the center tube. Over here is the way to get back up, and right over here is the way to get down. You drop down, taking no fall damage, and arrive at the bottom storage system. Now over here, you can flip the lever, turning the sorting system and killing chamber on. As you make your way back here, you're greeted by all sorts of chests. Over here is all of our prismarine shards. Over here is all of our cod. And last but not least, over here is our prismarine crystals. And that was a lot of work. So much time went into what you did see and what you didn't see. That includes the gathering of the wood needed for all of these chests and all of the hoppers that are behind the scenes. So much went into that, and that was a good amount of progress, and I think I might actually have time for a little bit more. And that means I'm actually going to be improving the rates on this farm quite a bit, because as I was building this, I was noticing there were quite a few waterlogged caves, as I mentioned before, and things can spawn in there, and that lowers the rates of the things that actually spawn in the farm itself. I also need to build a platform up at the top to AFK on, because currently I can't find a good spot to let them all spawn. But anyway, yeah, that's that's exactly what we need to fix, is we need to make it so that things start spawning. And I do know things do spawn in here, because I have had quite a few encounters with guardians while I was working on this thing. But yeah, I need to fix that, so I'll get right to that and bring you along in the process as I do so. And in order to light up water, I need sea pickles, because I would use sea lanterns, but they don't look very good. And sea pickles are kind of annoying to farm. And that's why I asked Speed to drop off this coral here, which is used to farm pickles. And that's what we're going to actually do. I think I'm going to real quick build a quick farm. I'm not going to decorate it quite yet, because I just want to get this farm complete and fully operational. Okay, so I have built this farm by Cubfan135, and he built it on Hermitcraft Season 8, and it could use some improvements, but basically you flip this lever, it bone meals the pickles down there, and then shoots them up for you to collect. And I will probably be adding some adaptations to automatically collect them, and increase the bone meal capacity, which he does tell you how to do in his video. I just wanted to be able to get the pickles so that I could use them to light up the area. And also, I believe Speed also needs them for what he's building. So yeah, anyway, I am going to get straight to placing down these pickles and draining out the caves and lighting them up. But I think I'll actually do that between episodes, but for now I think it's time to actually go check out what everybody's been up to. Editing Epic here, and after reviewing all the footage and throwing it into DaVinci Resolve, I learned that I actually recorded way too much this week. I currently have 35 minutes of footage, and I'm attempting to cut it down, and you'll know how well I succeeded at that. But it's way too much to put the recap in that video, so I think I'm actually going to release 2 episodes today, and one is going to be the normal, usual episode, but this time without the recap, and the other is going to be only the recap, and it's going to be quite a bit shorter than my usual videos, and entirely recap. So, sorry for the inconvenience, but yeah, that is actually all I got planned for this week. So, without further ado, I'll see you next week. A bye. Oh, and don't forget to check down in the description for the links to the videos for both the Pickle and the Guardian farms.